Hello, I am David Zanone, a technical marketing engineer here at Infoblox, and today we are here to talk about the BloxOne feature, Import and Export. First, we'll take a look at an overview of the BloxOne Import and Export feature. Then, we'll look at the benefits of this feature. After that, I'll show and explain this feature in the Infoblox Cloud Services portal. Finally, we will recap with a short summary. Now let's take a quick look at an overview of the BloxOne Import and Export feature. BloxOne's Import and Export allows for administrators to import and export BloxOne configurations and assets via a JSON or CSV file. These exported files allow for the quick recovery, creation, or modification of BloxOne configuration and assets. Due to these exported files being in JSON or CSV format, these files are easily modified or created from scratch, which enables the ability to deploy various assets and configurations quickly. This feature also grants the ability to take objects from other vendors' appliances and/or platforms and import them into BloxOne. Please note that this feature is actively being updated, and some objects may or may not be supported. For more information on this feature and the objects it supports, please visit docs.infoblox.com. Now let's take a look at the benefits of this feature. BloxOne's Import and Export feature enables teams to save time via the ability to quickly modify or backup existing configurations and assets. This feature also empowers administrative operations by improving the ability to recover or create new configurations and assets. Finally, this feature allows administrators to improve their efficiency by allowing them to reduce redundant solutions by consolidating existing appliances and/or platforms, which may have overlaps with BloxOne, and also by automating certain tasks such as creating new networks in BloxOne. Now let's take a look at the Import and Export feature in a live environment. BloxOne's Import and Export can easily be accessed by highlighting over Administration, then clicking on Data Import/Export. To start an export, click on the Export button. To show this use case, we'll begin with an example export. First, we'll give this export a name. On the next page, we can decide what kind of format we would like this export to be in. For now, I'll keep this export as a JSON file. Now, I can select the type of objects I would like to export. For this demo, I'll select DNS records, custom lists, and on-prem hosts. Finally, before exporting, we can specify how errors are handled. We have the option to skip any failed records, or stop the export if a failed record occurs. Finally, on the summary page, I can verify that everything looks correct. By clicking Start Export, I can start the export. After a little time, the export has completed. I can see the export in the export panel. This is a very useful location, as I can download any previous exports that have occurred on my CSP account. Now I'll download the export file via this download button here. Behind the scenes, I'll also download the CSV version of this export for demonstrative purposes. Now let's take a closer look at the export files themselves. As mentioned prior, the export file currently comes in one of two formats: a CSV or comma separated value format, or as a JSON, which is the JavaScript object notation format. The file shown here is a JSON file, and shown here is the CSV file. To show the ability to create new assets via this feature, I've created a snippet of code from one of my exports, specifically a custom list from BloxOne Threat Defense. The important chunk of the JSON code is held within the spec chunk shown here. Note all the parameters that would normally be managed via the BloxOne GUI, such as confidence level, threat level, the descriptions, and the actual URLs themselves. I've manually input all of these parameters to create a brand new custom list via the Data Import feature. One special field of note is the key field. This is the name with the text custom_list/ added at the beginning, then converted to base 64. Encoding text in the base64 format is easily accomplished on a device with OpenSSL installed. On this Linux device, I have a text file containing the custom list's name along with the additional text added to the beginning. To encode this text file in base64, I'll input the command openssl base64-in unencoded.txt-out encoded.txt. When performing this operation, designate your own text files where the file following the -in is a text file containing your unencoded text, and -out is the file designated to contain the base64 encoded text. As we can see in the file that we've set as the text output, our text is now encoded. After this operation, take the encoded text and input it into the key field of your import file. For more information on how to format custom-created import files and their syntax, please see the Infoblox documentation portal at docs.infoblox.com. Now let's test this import function. Since I'm uploading a custom list, first, I'll show the custom list that currently exists in this environment. Notice that there's currently no example list from import visible here. If our import is successful, we will see this custom list show here. To import a file, I'll click the Import tab. Then, click the Import button. Now, I'll give the import a name. On the next panel, I can select the import file that I've just created. After that, I can verify the objects that are being imported via the Verify Objects step of the import. If everything is correct, the quantity of the items imported should be correct. If needed, you can change the items that are being uploaded if there is more than one type. On the Specify Import Type page, we can specify the type of import we're performing. For the demo, I'll keep the default settings and only add new records from the file. Finally, here we can decide on the error handling that is performed. After a final check on the summary page, I'll start the import. After a short while, we can see my import was successful. Similar to the export page, we can see all previous imports that have occurred in our environment here. Now let's take a look at the custom list we've just added via the import feature. Just as expected, all domains, descriptions, and name of the custom list is intact. Let's review what we covered in this video. First, we took a look at an overview of the BloxOne import and export feature. Then, we covered the benefits of this feature. Finally, we looked at the import and export feature in the Infoblox Cloud Services portal. Thank you for your time viewing this video. All documentation regarding BloxOne's import and export feature is located on the Infoblox documentation website located at docs.infoblox.com. If you have any other concerns, questions, or comments, you can find myself or other Infoblox experts at the Infoblox community website, community.infoblox.com.